Hey guys, this is Sally my Goat, and this is episode 10 of my live show guide. And this episode we'll be talking about just your first time showing. And I got a question from Silver Wolf Creek Stables asking what do you recommend bringing to your first show and how many briars? Well, what I recommend bringing, I have episode 8, which is about my show kit and everything, and what you would need to bring for a show. So you'd be able to look at that one, but it just goes over the basics on what you would bring and everything. But on how many briars, it all really depends on the classes, or on the what show you're going, and how many classes the show has. Like, my very first show was, oh my god, I don't remember what year it was, maybe like 2010, 2011 maybe. And, I can't really remember. It was in July. It was my Weldon's Model Horse Show that I always go to every year. Let's see, maybe I have class list with, oh, here it goes. Like this is literally the class list is that. It's gonna be about 30 or so classes in it, not including performance. So, when I first showed, I brought maybe about 4 traditionals and maybe about 7 or 8 stablemates. Stablemates are a little bit easier if you have a majority of them and it's your first show. You can take quite a few, maybe, depending on the class list, because they're just small and they're pretty quick to move up there. But for my first show, for traditional-wise, I had my Water, my Ruffian, my Noel, this guy, I want to say one more, but I can't exactly remember. And I think that's it. Yeah. And maybe a classic, I think. Yeah, and I think this guy. Wait, yeah. Probably this guy too, I think. If I'm thinking in the right year. So I brought that many traditionals, and I brought maybe about a handful of stablemates. So I had quite a few stablemates. They're all lined up, because my table was maybe about that big. Sorry for the really messiness of it, but it's roughly around that big, and it's not really that big either. It's one of those really tiny, like, square ones, and that fit. I only used up about half that table, and I shared with some girl that had maybe about 3 horses. So, all in all, it kind of worked out. I recommend bringing not a whole bunch for your first time, because you don't want to get so overwhelmed. And especially if it's a smaller class list, because for your first time, I would recommend going into a youth show. I would not recommend just jumping into open, because it took me about 3 years before I finally got into open. Plus, I also had no choice. But yeah, for my first show, I went to a youth, and I just kept going to that youth show for 4 years. Yeah, 4 years. Then I went into a open show, and I did very well. Plus, I've also been showing for 4 years prior to that, but that's not really the point. My point is, do not bring so many horses, because you want to be able to, after you put your horses up in the class list, or on the table, being ready to judge, and you want to be able to walk around the show hall, look at everyone's other horses, go see if maybe there's a horse you want to go buy, or go make some friends, some show buddies. That is a really good way to do that, because I did that. At my first open show, I met somebody who's on YouTube, but I forgot her username. I met her there, and we became, like, show buddies and everything. Then one of my friends I actually brought to his first show last year? I believe last year or the year before. So, yeah, I think last year. But either way, don't bring so many horses, because you do not want to get overwhelmed. My first show, I wasn't really, you'll be nervous. But on my nerves, my nerves are really weird. Like, I'll be nervous on the way there, and as soon as I get there, all my nerves are gone. It's just like that when I'm showing my goats. I'm like, oh my god, the waiting gate, I'm so nervous. As soon as I walk in the show ring, boom, all my nerves are done. So pretty much, I don't really have a whole bunch of nerves there, except for maybe the open show. I was very nervous, because it's my first time showing an open against so many seasoned competitors with so many better horses than mine. And I actually did really well. I got 11 total NAN cards. So I was pretty happy about that. But all in all, don't bring so many horses. I would recommend maybe bringing a fraction of your total collection. Let's say you have about 50 horses. I would only recommend bringing maybe about 15, maybe 20 horses, depending on the class list. Now, if it's like my open show where it's got like 100 or so classes, yeah, you can bring a little bit more horses than that, just because on how spacious the classes are and how many classes there is in general. So, yeah. That's pretty much it. That's all I can really say about it, is just not bring so many horses, just bring very few if possible. But yeah, don't bring a whole bunch. Just kind of keep your classes spaced out a little bit to where you can be able to go look around the show hall. Because that's what I did. My first year showing, even like during a lunch break, I walked around. But other than that, I was at my table kind of working. Because I'm kind of I just need to have everything going as planned when I show. Or else it'll just mess me up. And I get really stressed out very easily. So that's why I kind of tried not to do that a whole bunch. But yeah, that's pretty much just how I did it. Just don't bring so many horses. I pretty much brought every single one of my horses. Plus, I had like maybe about 10 total. So yeah, and as you see from like 4 years, I've been gaining a whole bunches more. A whole bunches. Wow, that so made sense. But besides that, so that's pretty much it. Bye!